The Local Show, sponsored by Victory in Motion, home of knee repair, not knee replacement, on News Radio 570 WSYR, on 106.9 FM, and live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. The Local Show features in-depth conversation with business owners, employees, and influential business leaders throughout Central New York, exploring their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in our growing community. The Local Show is produced locally by Zoe Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
We're back into it, and we are back at it. You found The Local Show, the last bastion of good quality talk radio about local business, because that's what it's all about, local commerce.
We're kind of the only bastion of local talk radio for businesses.
And that's why we get the big bucks.
That's why. So thank you for listening and connecting to local businesses. And that whole buy local thing really rings true here.
It does. It really does. Hey, okay. Jada Masiclat is with us right now. She's the general manager of the Wild Animal Park. Jada, am I saying your last name right?
Yes, you are.
Oh, excellent. What nationality is that?
It's Filipino.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. I knew it was not just your standard white bread,
Didn't
name.
sound Irish.
Right? Yeah.
No.
Masiclat. Yeah, interesting. So, Jada, what's your experience in life? How long have you been working at the Wild?
So I've been there quite a bit. I've been there for 8 years now and then 9 seasons in total.
Wow.
Kind of just grew up there working in customer service and worked my way up. So now I get to do a little bit of everything. My day's a little bit different, keeps me busy.
Well, you seem relatively young. Did you go to college for anything or in particular? Or?
Yep. So I did a lot of, just hands-on experience learning on site, learning from the best in the business. But then I also went to college. I just graduated in past May in St. Lawrence University.
Oh, okay, great.
Double major in biology, pre-vet, and history.
Wow.
Keep the GPA.
That's pretty huge. A double, say that again, a double master or double?
Double major.
Major, okay, so a double major. How do you do that? Like when you go to your advisor, you say, hey, look, I'd like the most challenging thing you got.
Yeah, they're a little worried about me. They're like, these majors don't overlap. And I'm like, well, we'll make it work. So I actually did a lot of studying abroad in the summertime to make it work. I studied in Africa and then Ecuador too.
No kidding. Look at you.
You're
well
a lot of free time.
Yeah, for such a young lady.
And you brought a passenger here. YouTube listeners can see. Tell us who's on your lap right now.
This is my good little friend Caroline. She's a red kangaroo. She's about 6 months, almost 7 now. And she is our little baby you can meet in the park.
Nice. Well, she doesn't look red. She's gray.
So
I don't get it.
They actually end up changing their fur color once they get a little bit older. Their tones will change a little bit based off genetics and things, but her mom is pretty dark and gray, so she may stay that color, but that's the species.
And we took a picture of her dad when we were out there. That was the one, and he's a little more reddish, maybe?
Yep, he's quite big. He's a big one. I wouldn't want to, go up next to him.
And when they're born here, do they lose their accent right away? They don't have the Australian...
There's a little bit of an accent there, I bet.
Are kangaroos native to Australia only, or do they, grow other places?
Yeah, so the term is actually endemic. So that means that the species is only found there.
I see.
They've kind of go around the world now due to, progresses in zoological facilities, conservation. But yeah, typically you're just from Australia.
I love the way you're teaching Tom new words. That's wonderful. So out at the Wild Animal Park and Safari out in Chittenango, I was out there last week and I had not been there before. Holy smokes. I did the whole tour and saw the animals. How many animals are there?
Oh, we're probably close to about 1,000 now across our 3 properties. So we have the drive-through, the zoo, and then now the Haven as well.
Yeah.
Wow. So what are the most popular animals? What do people really want to see?
I definitely say our showstoppers are Jace the giraffe. He's our large male you guys can feed in the park. And then Odin's a favorite too. He's our white tiger. So those are the top 2, I would say.
Oh my gosh! And the tongue of the giraffe is it true that it's like 9 feet long and it's blue?
Not 9 feet long. I'm only a foot, but it is blue, and that reason is so if they're pulling the leaves off trees and things, they can strip it right off and not get burned. So it acts as a way of sundock naturally.
Oh my gosh. So good.
Well, you spent some time in Africa, and you probably saw a lot of the indigenous animals, right? And how do you feel about having these animals up at the wild here in this environment? In other words, it's not their native environment. They're not endemic to, Chittenango by any means. So how do you do that? How do you make the animals feel at home while still giving people who want to see these animals a good experience?
I think it's really where the strong suit is in the animal care team. So just making sure that these animals are getting the highest quality of care. They're really here teaching people about conservation efforts and really being able to see them. Like, not everyone can get on a flight to Africa. I was very lucky to be able to do that.
Right.
But being able to really see them and make connections is huge. And I feel like that's where we see a lot of kids realizing there's a lot of opportunities in this, job world as well. And for us, is really making sure the quality of care is the highest. So, we have our vets always checking them out, making sure that they're always going out the right temperatures, they're getting the best diet, and just making sure that their lives in captivity is the best it can be. So
I heard someone say once, and correct me if I'm wrong, Tom always does, animals actually live healthier and longer when they are in a situation like you have out there.
Yes, in most cases, animals' lifespans are almost double in captivity, especially if they're getting the right nutrition, their body weight is where it should be. They're always checking on, the little ailments they get when they're older, like arthritis. We're able to give them meds and make sure their quality of life is the best it can be. Yeah. Because in the wild, you're going to be taken out by a lion.
Right, of course. Yeah, I was just going to say. In Australia, what is the predator to the kangaroo?
Honestly, it's people. The biggest thing I'd say, unfortunately, and they're not going out, knocking them down, but they're always getting, killed in car accidents. They're like the deer of the world over there. So humans is a pretty big threat over there.
Wow.
Well, so what's the difference between the wild animal park and the safari? Explain what's at which location.
So there are two different experiences. So the walkthrough is more of your typical zoo style, where you're able to walk around and look at the different exhibits and also read a little bit about the different species. The drive-through is a little bit more immersive in the fact that the animals can stick their heads right in your cars. You're able to feed and pet while you're out there. And then we also have the Beast. I personally love the Beast. I think it's a great option because it's guided. So the zookeepers.
What is the Beast?
It's a ride.
Okay.
It's a guided tour. It's our, converted monster truck. It's huge. It's gorgeous. But it's an hour long and it's guided. So there's a zookeeper who's teaching you about all the different species that's out there.
So it's safe. So a lion can stick its head into your car and it's okay?
No lions. Okay. Free roaming. Then we would have a little bit of National Geographic out there. We don't want that.
Yeah.
But
that's
the ostriches can stick their heads in fully for sure.
So when are you guys open? So Chittenango, it's right up the road. It's amazing how close it is. So when are you open? Like, when can people come and visit?
So we're open right now 7 days a week. Typically weekdays is 10 to 5, and then weekends is 9:30 to 6, and Sundays is 9:30 to 5. So every day, come on out, bring the family, enjoy the day.
How much time should people allow to come out and see it? Because there's a lot there.
I would say typically each park takes about an hour or so, especially if you're stopping and feeding and interacting with the different animals. So we do offer a combo ticket where you can do both. So I would say 2 hours is good for both parks.
Okay, and what's the Haven?
The Haven. Haven is brand new, one of our new locations, and it's a way to get a really close-up and intimate view of lions and tigers from your Airbnbs. So there are, these rooms where you'd be able to look right in on lions and tigers and really get a deeper respect for them, while you're also getting a one-on-one hangout time with them.
So thewildpark.com, again, I was out there last week. You will not be disappointed. I wished I had more time, and I was taking some pictures and having just such a great time. But the Wild Park in Chittenango, go there and check out all the animals.